Hello, this is Uptrail 71, and in part 4 of this series we'll take a look at sleep systems such as tents, hammocks, or even some of the ultralight guys will only use a tarp. And we will also take a look at sleeping bags and quilts. But first we'll start with looking at the tents. Most that are new to backpacking will start out with a tent, and many of the backpackers even today still prefer tents over hammocks. The tent that you see behind me is a cheaper $35 tent. It'll get the job done, but when we found out in the mountains in Wyoming last summer, in the high winds, it definitely pushed it to the limit. So we are going to look at upgrading to around a $200 tent, such as a Kelty or REI or Big Angus makes some good ones. There's many good companies out there. On ultralight tent setups, rather than using poles for the tent, they'll have it set up to where you can use your trekking poles, and it helps save weight. Of course, anything ultralight is usually higher priced. The first thing that you want to do when you're setting up your tent is to look for a spot that's a little higher ground, because in a lower lying area it can get very wet if you get a heavy rainstorm. And then you want to make sure that you clear any debris in the spot that you're going to set up your tent, such as rocks or sticks. Hammocks have become very popular over the last few years. Right here is my first hammock that I ever bought. It's a cheap $25 hammock, but it's really only made for lounging, not so much for overnight sleeping. And the first backpacking hammock that I ever bought was a Warbonnet Blackbird. It's made for luxury, has a full net, has a side pocket. It's a very good hammock, and I always highly recommend it to anyone. But it'll cost you almost $200. After the Warbonnet Blackbird, the next hammock that I purchased was the ultralight half-foot hammock from DutchWearGear.com. It's a very comfortable hammock. It comes with a half net for bug protection, and then your legs will be covered by either your sleeping bag or your top quilt. And that is a very good hammock, and I still like using it today. Since I was using the half-foot hammock a lot, my wife decided to give the Warbonnet Blackbird a try, and she really liked it and claimed that one. So since then I bought another Warbonnet Blackbird, so we both have one now. And we both use the edge tarps from Warbonnet. And other than the comfort of a hammock, the other advantage is you don't need level ground. You just need to find two trees that are about 15 feet apart. And the hammocks come with many different suspension options, such as cinch buckles or whoopee slings. And you always want to use straps around a tree because a rope can harm it. We both use underquilts and top quilts for a hammock to stay warm. You can use a sleeping bag with a pad under it. If you're looking at getting into hammock camping but don't want to spend a lot of money, one good site to check out is Hammock Forums. They have a lot of good ideas for DIY projects and many ways to save money. Some options for sleeping pads is like this roll-up one here. You can purchase it for about $10 and it'll get the job done. We've used it many times over the years. Another option is this Thermarest pad. It's more comfortable and it'll cost you around $30. It's very popular with backpackers. And the other option is an air mattress pad. And many backpackers like using that because it's more comfortable, but it'll cost you a lot more. For our summer sleeping bags, we purchased two military patrol sleeping bags. They only cost $25 each, and they're good down to about maybe 40 to 45 degree range. So that was one good option if you want to save money. And sometimes my wife will also use a 5 degree rated synthetic sleeping bag. And finally, you can look at down sleeping bags. They're warm and lightweight, but they're very expensive. And our underquilts and top quilts that we use for our hammocks are $8.50 down, and they'll run you around $300 each. And for summer, I also use this Costco, I think it's about $600 or $650 down top quilt, and you'll pay only about $25. So that's another good option for summer camping. And I hope this review has helped you some. And once again, thanks for watching. Uptrail 71.